Hey guys, Marsingit here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to talk about the units that you can exchange the red, purple and special LR stone for over here in the barbershop. I probably should have made this video a little bit earlier because we got the red stone and the ability to buy the other stones pretty much at the start of the anniversary, but I completely forgot to make a video about it. A couple of people have been asking me about what they should do with the stones and what is the best strategy, what is the best units to pick up, and obviously I might put it even in the title itself, but I think there is definitely a lot to be said for waiting to see what is going on JP, and there is a big reason for that. So we'll start off with the redstone here, because obviously this is the one that applies to everybody. Everybody got given one of these red stones at the beginning of the anniversary celebration. You get it as part of like the first login set of rewards that you get, and obviously this allows you to trade in for one of these characters. A lot of them are a pack that give you a couple of characters, so some of them obviously have more value than others depending on the characters who are included. Some of the more premium characters, like you can see here, the Vegeta Blue and the Rose, who are actually Dokkan Fest exclusives, whereas these guys are banner units. They are solo by themselves. So we got the like 120 leads here from the old meta. Then we got the Zamasu and Trunks as well. So I think, is it every Dokkan Fest is just solo then? And then it's the ones that are the banner units that are coming with those extras. I believe it is. What about this guy? STR Pycon is by himself. That's a weird one. No Super Kaioken Goku, but STR Pycon is in there. That's very strange. And this guy just got his Easy A as part of the Golden Week celebration, or you can pick just 2 Kais. But as you can see, they all come with a Kai as well, including the big pack one. So in terms of value for the most units, like the top 2 packs, you get 3 characters and a red stone. Now, unfortunately, it's one of those things where these characters now all have an Easy A, apart from Jacko. Actually, he's probably one of the newer characters on the list in terms of these unfeatured like banner unit characters, but they're all fairly outdated now. Aside from, I think Tech God Goku is still quite useful in events where you're fighting against a movie boss or a pure Saiyan enemy. And of course, the anniversary content does have a lot of that, right? We've got the new Blue Zone stages that are out. All 3 of those you fight against a pure Saiyan enemy. The movie bosses Red Zone 2 finally finished coming out with the start of the anniversary. And of course, all the bosses in that event are all movie bosses. So God Goku actually does still have some value. Even now, right, considering his Easy A is fairly old. But when it comes to the rest of the list, we take a look down, and in terms of like who is relevant still in the meta now, realistically, none of these characters are, right? Super 17 probably held on the longest as one of the 120 meta lead characters. But then as we scroll down, like, I guess we got Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is of course in a special situation because he has his Super Easy A, and then so does the Goku Black and the AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So those 3 that have their Super Easy A's already, I would say they are very decent candidates for your redstone choice. You can see, of course, that physical Kid Buu is not an option here, which feels very deliberate because physical Kid Buu is probably the best of the 4 Super Easy A's that we currently have in the game. So I would say if you don't want to wait for future potential Super Easy A's, then you want to go for one of these 3 characters that has the Super Easy A already. I definitely would say Goku Black, I think, is the best out of the 3 that are available here in the shop. And of course, depending on, you know, if you summoned for Broly, if you pulled Broly, you know, this guy on the Super Bosses team is very, very good. So Goku Black, I think, is definitely one of the top picks for the Redstone if you don't want to wait for any future potential stuff. Tech Gotenks, I think out of the 2, I think I do like Tech Gotenks more than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So obviously if you want to run like a Super Saiyan 3 or like the Martian Buu Saga team with the Golden Week Goku and stuff like that, those 2 can be very good choices. But realistically, everybody else on the list, right, the characters that don't have their Super Easy A's yet already, the only one that I've said is, you know, I would say is worth any value nowadays is God Goku. But the key thing, as I said already, is waiting to see what JP is going to do could certainly be a very interesting option, because as you can see, I'm recording this on Friday the 12th, we still have 38 days left in which you can exchange this red stone for a character. And obviously on JP at the moment, we are having the Tanabata celebration. In fact, I will double check, because knowing my luck, I'll go to record this and they'll have announced something this morning that I didn't see. But basically, we are still waiting, I think. We'll get the JP Twitter up here. Yeah, there's nothing on here for today. So we've had some EZAs already as part of the Tanabata celebration, right? The Team LR Universe 7 and the LR Golden Frieza and 17. But we haven't had a Super EZA announced as part of the Tanabata celebration. Now, we might not necessarily get one at all. We might not get one until part 2, which will still be a week or so away, I believe, for the Tanabata celebration. But even if it was 2, even 3 weeks away from now, you can see, you know, that's within 38 days. They could announce a new Super EZA on JP, and it could be one of the units that's available on this list of characters, right? A big one that people are suspecting could be a candidate for a Super EZA is this AGL Blue Goku, because of course he is a Universe Survival Saga character. The theme, obviously, you know, we've got UI Goku. A lot of people assume we're going to get Jiren as the Part 2 LR, but they do normally like to do the Part 2 LR of the Tanabata celebration as an extreme unit, so it could be a hit, could be something else completely, who knows. But this guy definitely fits that theme of Universe Survival Saga. I don't think anybody else on the list really goes under that category, but that's the big thing, right? Like, they could always, depending on the leader skill of the Part 2 LR, they could always do one of these units that, even though they're not a Universe Survival Saga character, fits on that leader skill. But I think out of everyone on this list, it is more likely that it's going to be Blue Kaioken Goku. Now, as I say, with all the characters that are available on this list to choose right now, if you're struggling with some of the content that has released, characters like Goku Black or the Gotenks with their Super EZAs, God Goku for any of the events of a Pure Saiyan or Movie Boss, those are characters that obviously are going to be able to help you out right now to beat content that you can't do. But I would say, for the most part, unless you do really desperately want one of those characters because you don't have them, I think the best strategy for everyone is to wait and see who the next Super EZA potentially is going to be, because you have 38 days before you lose out the ability to use this red stone. And of course, for players like me who've been playing the game for a long time, and like every single character on this list I already have rainbowed. Every character on this list already has an EZA, so mine are already fully EZA'd and SA15, so I don't need random spare copies of these characters. But if one of them is going to get a Super EZA, I could grab a copy with the red stone to maybe change their hidden potential, so I don't have to spend actual stones to do so. But yeah, knowing who the next Super EZA is going to be will add a huge amount of value, because if you're someone who doesn't have all of these characters rainbow, or is even missing some of these characters, because of course for newer players, some of these older characters, you're not necessarily going to have them at all. You know, let's say for example it is completely random out of nowhere and Super Saiyan 3 Broly Super EZA gets announced. He's a character that hasn't been on banners in I don't even know how long. And so if his Super EZA gets announced on JP and he's actually good, which is his last chance, right? Because he wasn't great on release and his EZA wasn't great. But if he gets the Super EZA announced and his Super EZA is really good, you could pick him up with the red stone. Even if it doesn't come to global at the same time as it's coming to JP, then you have them ready for obviously when it does come out. So my advice is, unless you really want to pick up a copy of physical Goku Black, Tech Gotenks, or potentially God Goku, then I would wait to see who the next Super EZA is. Out of those three, I would say Goku Black is probably the best choice. But yeah, I would say wait until, you know, you don't have to wait right until 38 days from now. But if in like 37 days from now, we still haven't had any news on who a Super EZA is going to be, then if you're happy to wait that long, then you could make that decision, right? So then we go on to the Purple Stone and the LR Stone. Now, these ones are paid, so obviously this isn't going to apply to a lot of people. Some people will pick these up just to get the extra stones, and then you get the purple stones in the process. I will say the sale packs work out as better value for just stones if you don't care about the purple stone, especially because these are in step-up packs. So you have to buy the first pack, which I think in terms of dollars, because I know a lot of my audience is in the US, it's anywhere between like $35 and $40, gets you, I think, is it 80 stones, and you get one of the purple stones. If we go down this list and look at the characters that you can get with the purple stone, Pan is not good anymore, neither are Trunks and Giru. The blues were probably never good, to be fair. Jacko, we've already mentioned. Gohan and Goku and Cell, very outdated at this point. The tech androids, you can kind of get by with them on some like cheese, like meme teams because of their Ghost Usher ability and the fact that they can negate Ki Blast super attacks. But in terms of like just out and out using them as a proper unit on main rotation in difficult content, they're not very good anymore. Same with Jiro and 19. Tech, Kale and Caulifla, obviously we're waiting for them to get an Easy A. They're not very good anymore. Same can be said of the androids, right? Like when they get their Easy A, they're potentially going to be really good again. Int Carver's never been good. Int Broly, obviously was a Saiyan Day character from a few years ago now, so he could be due an Easy A. I mean, Bardock got his Easy A, right? AGL Bardock. And this guy was the Saiyan Day unit after him. So his Easy A could happen anytime within the next year. Probably maybe not until late this year, early next year though. And then of course his banner unit. Trunks is very outdated now. Same with Angel Golden Frieza. Like all of these guys on here are older Dokkan Fest exclusives. The only one realistically that stands out is STR Kefla, because she already has her EZA and is a very good unit. Like she can be dodge or die against these harder hitting bosses, but she does a lot of damage, has a pretty decent link set. So she's a solid choice. Everybody else on the list I feel like is just really outdated at this point, and unfortunately are just kind of in that category of waiting for an Easy A for them to be good again. And even like, you know, Gogeta, Broly, Beerus, Hit, like they have their Easy A's already and they're not that great anymore still already. So Kefla's probably the #1 choice. And then unfortunately for anyone else, it's kind of just a case of if you don't have one of these units, maybe pick them up because they could get an Easy A sometimes within the next 6 months or so. But I don't think any of these, like I haven't bought any of these packs that come with the Purple Stone because like I don't need any of these characters. And like I say, like if they do randomly get an Easy A, I've got most of them rainbowed already anyway. And like I say, the packs are not as good value for me. It'd be better to just buy the sale packs that come with the 91 stones, or 92 I think it might be for the ones we've got at the moment. And then the problem is, if you want to get to the LR stone, you have to buy the second purple stone step up pack, which comes with 2 purple stones. So, and these guys don't come with a Kai as well. The interesting thing about these guys is they do come already fully awakened, which is interesting. So you don't have to farm any of the medals or anything. Same with the redstone one, which is very cool. But then, yeah, you end up with 3 purple stones if you buy all the packs. And like realistically, like I say, Kefla is good, but I mean, if you don't have her at all, I guess if you're someone that's like cleared out the shop because you want as many stones as possible, you can go from not having Kefla to having a 79% Kefla, which will be a lot more useful, right, than a 55% one. But realistically, she's the only one on the list that really has value now. All of the other ones are ones that you're just kind of gambling on whether they'll get an Easy A at some point soon and that their Easy A is actually good. So then it comes to the LR stone, which I think is the bare minimum people watching this, I think, will be, because like I say, you have to clear out, you have to buy all the sale packs. So you have to buy the step up pack 1 and 2 to get to this one. So I think in terms of dollars, this last one is like 45 to 50, depending on what it is priced in your region. So you've got to spend like almost $150 just to get to this last pack. And when it comes to the LRs that are available, like Merge to Master is pretty outdated at this point, shares the same name with the Tech LR, which has always been kind of awkward. Golden Frieza is still useful. I think #1 go-tos are probably these guys here, the physical Blue Kaioken Goku and Blue Evolution Vegeta, because they're going to get an Easy A in like a couple of weeks time. And then we have the Broly trio. They'll be getting their Easy A sometime in the next week. Because in terms of where we've got details about content in the news, it goes up to the movie special event coming out on Monday. We did check this morning on the stream, and based on the number of days between when the banners came out on JP for the anniversary and then the Broly Trio Easy A came out, it would put their Easy A coming out on Tuesday, over here anyway, which would be the 16th, so the evening of Monday the 15th if you're in Pacific time in America. So these guys get an Easy A, they're really good. Just like we were saying about Goku Black with the Redstone, like if you've pulled Broly and you want to really buff up your Super Bosses team, then these guys are definitely a go-to option. STR UI Goku obviously got his Easy A as part of the Countdown celebration. I guess Rose can still be somewhat decent, at least especially against like tech bosses. But yeah, nobody else on the list really stands out. So to be perfectly honest, I genuinely don't think, like, you know, I talk about stuff in the shop, like when there's good value for stuff like the daily stone packs, and even ticket packs for normal banners. I talk about how they have good value because they cost less than if you were to just buy stones to summon on that specific banner. But obviously I'm not gonna, you know, say something is good when I don't think it is. I genuinely don't think, and even if you're missing like both of these LRs completely, the Evo Ken and the Broly Trio, I genuinely don't think it's worth it to buy all of these stone step up packs, unless, like I say, you're someone who's already cleared out like all the sales from here and you don't have any other ones left that you want to pick up. Like I've still got basically all of the, no, I was 93 for the anniversary. I've still got all of these 93 stone packs left to pick up. So if you've still got stone pack, like sale packs to buy, and you just want extra stones, either to summon in part 1 or ready for part 2, I genuinely think they're better value than buying these packs that come with a stone that realistically don't have a lot of like top tier options. But I mean, let me know what you guys think down below. If you did pick up the packs, let us know who did you choose. Did you just do it to get the stones? Let me know who you would choose if you had the option. I do definitely think that these guys are probably going to end up being one of the best choices for a lot of teams, and then of course these guys for the Super Bosses team. I know these guys can absolutely destroy in Kid Buu in the Kid Buu Red Zone stage. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like I say, if you did get the packs, let me know which units you chose. If you have used your redstone, let me know who you chose. But I think for the redstone, as I say, save it until we have a bit more of an idea on who the next Super Easy A could be. Because at the end of the day, the next Super Easy A could get announced on JP tomorrow, and it could be a character not on this list. And then it doesn't really affect this decision. So then it's kind of up to you at that point. But like I say, I think the top pick for me, I would say, is probably Goku Black. And if you don't have good villain teams, maybe Super Sentai, Gotenks, or God Goku. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.